Randy is a spineless mama's boy. Working at a shabby burger place, he is systematically picked on by a bully named Chris. During another altercation, Randy gets a helping hand from a local janitor. The usually quiet young man, whose name is Benson, suddenly pulls a gun out of his car's trunk and kills first Chris, and then other employees. While Randy is recovering from shock, Benson goes straight to business. Before the police have discovered the bodies, Benson is determined to find out why Randy is such a pathetic loser and help him change. The most obvious film that comes to mind after reading this synopsis is Robert Harmon's classic road thriller The Hitcher, in which a violent maniac played by Rutger Hauer is harassing a young driver, who is giving him a lift. The passenger, however, goes beyond a mere confrontation between cruelty and innocence. It's more subtle and ambiguous. It's closer to Fight Club, or if you will, an obscure criminal drama The Boys Next Door by Penelope Spheris, that explores how a series of wrong choices can drive you to the edge of an abyss. The Passenger's most paradoxical and astonishing twist lies not in its plot, but in its meaning. Randy and Benson are very much alike, only that at a certain point of their lives they chose to follow very different paths. Both of them experienced psychological trauma as kids. Both of them failed to overcome it. But while Randy caved in under his suffering, choosing to go with the flow, Benson processed his trauma in his own way and buried it deep in his unconscious. That's when he promised to himself to always stay on top of the situation. Benson is collected, calculated, and self-confident. But what the two protagonists don't know is that they are not ready to face an army of skeletons swarming out of their childhood closets. The Passenger is directed by Carter Smith, who stands behind an underrated horror The Ruins and a recent LGBT thriller Swallowed, which also ruminates on the question of strength and weakness. For Smith, who is openly gay, bromance is a delicate and affectionate relationship, and the film only benefits from this perspective. The relationship between the protagonists is devoid of any sexual undertones, but the brotherly care that Benson demonstrates towards Randy makes the ending heartfelt and emotional. Kyle Gallner, who plays Benson, is an amazing, but criminally underrated indie actor. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this will be Gallner's breakthrough year, for alongside his arresting role in The Passenger, he also delivered a top-notch performance in a recent thriller, Mother May I? Randy is portrayed by a budding actor Johnny Berchtold, whose filmography still lacks noteworthy mentions. Nevertheless, he nails the role of an utter loser. Gallner and Berchtold make one of this year's best duos in the thriller and horror genres. Although made for the MGM Plus channel, The Passenger is not your typical TV film. It's rather brutal and graphic. Plus, its creators resist the temptation to take an educational tone with the audience towards the end. We don't get to learn Benson's secret, but what's so beautiful about this movie is that it doesn't matter in the slightest. Moreover, by choosing not to reveal the mystery, the creators further emphasize the main idea behind the film. Everyone has a past, and many of us harbor heavy memories, but what defines you is not your pain, it's how you're dealing with it.